I never thought running a little art page would nearly cost me my life, but here we are. I'm Lauren, I'm 24, and I still can't sleep with my curtains open. It started off proper innocent, yeah? I'd been posting my paintings on Instagram for about 6 months, nothing mad, just watercolors and sketches, maybe the odd self-portrait. Had a few hundred followers, mostly mates and random art students from around London. Engagement was alright, nothing to write home about. Then this bloke showed up. His username was something forgettable, just numbers and letters, no profile picture. But Christ, he was everywhere. Every single post, within minutes, he'd comment. Not just nice work or a heart emoji like normal people. No, he'd write paragraphs. The way you captured the light on the Thames in this one really shows you understand the melancholy of the city. Or, I love how your use of cerulean blue mirrors your emotional state lately. Weird, but I figured he was just one of those intense art types, you know? Bit odd but harmless. Then he started getting specific about things that had nothing to do with the paintings. Hope you're feeling better after that rough commute this morning. I hadn't posted about any commute. Glad you found that cafe you were looking for in Dalston. I'd never mentioned Dalston on my page. My stomach did this little flip, but I convinced myself maybe he knew me from somewhere? Maybe we'd crossed paths at a gallery opening or something and I'd forgotten? I asked him straight up one day. Do I know you? His response came back in seconds. Not yet, but I feel like I know you, Lauren. Your art speaks to me. The way he said my name made my skin crawl, even through a screen. Things properly escalated about 3 weeks in. He commented on a painting I'd posted, something abstract I'd done in mostly greys and blues. This matches that blue jumper you were wearing last night perfectly. You look beautiful in that color. I stared at my phone for a solid minute. Blue jumper? I had worn my blue oversized sweater the night before, just lounging around my flat watching telly. But I hadn't posted any pictures of myself in days, and certainly nothing from the previous night. I scrolled through my entire feed twice, checked my stories, even looked at my tagged photos. Nothing. Not a single image of me in that jumper anywhere on my account. My hands started shaking. I showed the comment to my flatmate Sophie. She thought I was being paranoid. Maybe he's just guessing, babes. Blue's a common color, innit? But I knew. I bloody knew something wasn't right. I started being more careful. Stopped posting anything personal, just the artwork. No locations, no tags, no stories showing bits of my flat. But he kept going. That new canvas you bought from the art shop on Kingsland Road looks perfect for your next piece. I'd bought that canvas 2 days prior and hadn't mentioned it anywhere. The shop he named was exactly right. I felt sick. Then came the DM that made my blood run cold. 3 in the morning, my phone buzzed on my nightstand. Half asleep, I checked it. The streetlight outside your window's been flickering again, huh? Proper annoying when you're trying to sleep, I imagine. I sat bolt upright in bed. The streetlight outside my window had been flickering for the past week. I'd even complained about it to Sophie just that evening. I got up, walked to my window, and looked outside at that dodgy light sputtering on and off. My room was on the 2nd floor of a converted Victorian house in Hackney. The street was empty. Dark except for that malfunctioning light. I rang the police first thing in the morning. The operator was lovely but ultimately useless. It sounds like online harassment, love. Have you tried blocking him? Could just be a troll winding you up. I tried explaining about the jumper, the canvas, the streetlight. She took my information but I could hear in her voice she thought I was overreacting. We'll make a note of it, but unless he's made specific threats or you know his identity, there's not much we can do. So I did what she suggested. I blocked him. Then I went nuclear, deleted every post, removed all my followers, made my account private. Then I thought, sod it, and deleted the whole account entirely. Felt like cutting off a limb, all those months of work gone, but I needed him out of my life. For 3 days, I felt lighter. Slept better. Started to think maybe it was over, maybe he'd just move on to harassing someone else. Then my phone buzzed with a notification. Instagram. I'd been tagged in a photo. The account had no followers, no posts except the one I'd been tagged in. The username was just a string of random characters. My hands were trembling so badly I almost dropped my phone as I clicked on it. The photo was dark, grainy, clearly taken through a window. It showed a bed, rumpled sheets, and a figure lying in it facing away from the camera. Blonde hair splayed across a pillow. A blue jumper hanging off the back of a chair in the corner. My blue jumper. My chair. My bed. The timestamp said it was taken at 2:30 in the morning. Last night. I screamed. Proper screamed. Sophie came running in and I shoved the phone at her. Her face went white. Lauren, what the fuck? We called the police again. This time they took it seriously. 2 officers came round within the hour. They looked at the photo, took my statement, started asking questions about locks and security and whether anyone had keys to the flat. They managed to trace the IP address of the account, and that's when everything got worse. Same building. The IP was registered to the same bloody building I lived in. Top floor flat. My upstairs neighbor. I'd seen him maybe twice in the 8 months I'd lived there. Quiet bloke, kept to himself, always nodded hello in the hallway. Mid-30s, glasses, looked like an IT worker or something. Normal. Completely, utterly normal. The police went up to have a word with him while I waited in my flat with Sophie, both of us chain-smoking out the window despite neither of us properly smoking. 20 minutes later, one of the officers came back down. His face was grim. "We're going to need you to come down to the station to give a formal statement. And you might want to stay somewhere else tonight." They'd found cameras. Multiple cameras. One pointed at the air vent in his floor that looked directly down into my bedroom. He'd been filming me through the gaps for months. He had hundreds of photos and videos on his laptop. Me sleeping, me changing, me painting, me just existing in my own flat thinking I was safe. He'd been watching everything, cataloging everything, and then using that information to comment on my posts like he had some special connection with me. The timestamps on the files proved he'd been taking photos of me before I even posted anything publicly. He'd know what I was wearing, what I was doing, where I was going, because he'd literally watched me get ready through that vent. When I'd posted a painting, he'd already seen me create it. When I mentioned going somewhere, he'd already watched me plan it. They arrested him obviously. Stalking, voyeurism, harassment, the works. Found out he'd done something similar to a girl in his previous building too. Just moved on when she'd moved out, then started on me. I left that flat the same day. Couldn't stay there another second. Sophie and I broke the lease and moved in with her boyfriend across town. I still have nightmares about that vent in the ceiling, about him up there in the dark with his camera pointing down at me while I slept. The trial's coming up in a few months. My solicitor says it's an open and shut case with all the evidence they found, but I don't care about justice really. I just want to forget. I haven't posted my art online since. Can't bring myself to do it. Every time I think about starting again, I remember his comments, how he made them sound so personal, so connected, when really he was just watching me through a hole in my ceiling like some sick voyeur. I keep my curtains closed now, even during the day. I check every room I'm in for vents, for gaps, for anywhere a camera could hide. The worst part? I'll never know how long he'd been planning it. Whether he chose that flat specifically because it was above mine. Whether he saw my Instagram first and then found out where I lived, or whether he lived there first and just got lucky that his downstairs neighbor was a young woman who posted online. The police said his computer had searches about me going back nearly a year, before I'd even moved into that flat. Sometimes I still get that feeling, you know? Like someone's watching. I'll be sitting in my new place and I'll just know someone's looking at me. I'll check every corner, every shadow, but there's never anyone there. My therapist says it's PTSD, that it'll fade with time. But I don't think it will. How can you ever feel safe again when you know that someone was watching your most private moments for months and you never had a clue? When you know that the person you smiled at in the hallway was the same person cataloging your life through a camera lens? I deleted all my social media after that. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of it. Gone. People think I'm paranoid now, but I don't care. They didn't see those photos. They didn't see the sheer volume of images he'd collected. Hundreds upon hundreds of moments I thought were private, all filed away on his computer like some twisted collection. So yeah, that's my story. Be careful what you post online, but more importantly, be careful who's watching you when you think you're alone. Because sometimes the monster isn't some stranger on the internet. Sometimes he's right above you, watching through the ceiling, waiting for you to fall asleep. I'm a photographer, yeah? Been doing it professionally for about 5 years now, mostly portraits, bit of editorial work, the usual freelance grind. Name's Marcus, I'm 29, and I genuinely loved what I did. Past tense, because I can't pick up a camera anymore without feeling like I'm being watched through the lens. It all started pretty innocently, like these things always do. I'd been building up my social media presence, posting my work on TikTok and Instagram, trying to get my name out there. The algorithm was finally working in my favor, getting decent engagement, couple thousand followers, nothing mental but enough to get some paid gigs here and there. Then this account started appearing in my notifications constantly. @SiennaFilter. At first, I thought it was just an enthusiastic fan account, you know? They'd repost my portraits with these weird edited versions, adding digital glitches and distortion effects. Bit annoying since they never asked permission, but it's the internet, innit? Everyone's nicking everyone's content. The edits were actually pretty interesting in a creepy sort of way, VHS static overlays, color shifts, that sort of aesthetic. I figured it was just some art student mucking about. But then they started getting really specific with their edits. One portrait I'd done of a woman in Camden Market, they'd added this face in the reflection of a shop window behind her. Proper unsettling, like something out of a horror film. Another one, a bloke I'd photographed in his flat, they'd edited the background so there were eyes staring out from the shadows in the corner. Gave me the creeps if I'm honest, but I tried to just ignore it. I finally reached out to them about a month in. Sent a polite DM asking them to credit me properly or take the posts down. The response came back within seconds, like they'd been waiting for me to message. "You look better unfiltered, Marcus." That threw me. I didn't post pictures of myself really, just my work. Maybe the odd story showing me at a shoot or whatever, but nothing major. I typed back, "What do you mean?" No response. They just started posting more. Then the edits got worse. Way worse. A portrait I'd taken of a couple in Victoria Park, they'd added a figure standing behind them in the tree line. Wouldn't have been so bad except the figure looked exactly like me. Same jacket I'd been wearing that day, same camera bag. But I'd been in front of them taking the photo, not behind them. Another photo, a headshot I'd done in my studio, they'd edited it so there was a face pressed against the window in the background. The window in my studio. My first floor studio where there's no fire escape, no balcony, nothing. No way for someone to be looking in. I started going through all their edited versions more carefully, and I noticed something that made my stomach drop. The details they were adding, they weren't random. The face in the Camden shop window reflection? That was someone I'd seen on the tube that morning before the shoot. The eyes in the shadows? Same pattern as the wallpaper in my childhood bedroom, something I'd never posted anywhere. How could they possibly know these things? My mate Dev said I was being paranoid. It's just AI, bruv. They're probably using some creepy deepfake software to mess with you. Block them and move on. So I did. Blocked the account, reported it, tried to forget about it. 2 days later, I woke up to 53 notifications. Sienna Filter had created multiple backup accounts, all posting the same photo. A photo I'd never taken, never seen before, definitely never posted. It was me, asleep in my bed, shot from the doorway of my bedroom. The metadata was wrong though, it said it was taken with my camera. My Sony a7 III, the one sitting on my desk across the room. The timestamp said 3 nights ago, 2:30 in the morning. I felt like I was going to be sick. I checked my camera immediately. Scrolled through every single photo in the memory card. Nothing. It wasn't there. But the file they'd posted online had all my camera's information embedded in it, the serial number, the lens I use, even my custom settings. Everything matched perfectly. That's when I started thinking someone had hacked my cloud storage. I used Google Photos to back everything up automatically when I was on my home Wi-Fi. I changed all my passwords immediately, enabled two-factor authentication, the whole lot. Checked my security settings and nearly had a heart attack. There were devices logged into my account I didn't recognize. Locations showing access from my own address but at times when I wasn't home, or when I was asleep. I called the police. They sent a constable round who took one look at my story and basically told me it was a civil matter, maybe online harassment at worst. Change your passwords, mate. Probably just some script kiddie having a laugh. He left me his card and buggered off. Useless. But the photos kept coming. My morning coffee on the counter, shot from my kitchen doorway. My desk setup, shot from behind me. My bathroom mirror with steam still on it from a shower, shot from the hallway. All with my camera's metadata. All taken inside my flat when I thought I was alone. I wasn't posting these anywhere, they were just appearing on these fan accounts, tagging me, making sure I saw them. I stopped sleeping. Started checking every corner of my flat for hidden cameras. Covered my laptop camera with tape. Unplugged my smart TV. But the photos kept appearing, always shot from my own camera, always showing me in my private moments. Then I got a DM from a new account, no profile picture, no posts. Don't worry, Marcus. You're always photogenic. That's when I proper lost it. I grabbed my camera and smashed it against the wall. Threw my laptop in the bathtub. Ripped the router out of the wall socket. I was done, absolutely done with all of it. My neighbor heard the commotion and came knocking. Older Polish bloke, Tomasz, lived next door for years. Really sound guy. He helped me calm down, made me a tea, convinced me to call the police again. This time I got someone who actually listened. A digital crimes unit detective named Sarah who specialized in cyberstalking cases. She took my devices, what was left of them, and started digging. Took about a week, but she found it. Someone had created a clone of my Wi-Fi network, same name, same password, positioned close enough to my flat that my devices would sometimes connect to theirs instead of mine. When my camera synced to what I thought was my cloud storage, it was actually syncing to their server. They had access to everything, every photo I took, every file I uploaded, complete access to my camera remotely. The really messed up bit? They'd also installed remote access software on my camera somehow. Sarah explained that newer cameras have Wi-Fi capabilities, and if someone knows what they're doing, they can hijack them. They'd been using my camera to take photos while I slept, while I worked, whenever they wanted. My own camera, sitting on my desk, pointing at me, controlled by someone else. They traced the clone network to a flat 3 doors down from mine. Some tech bloke in his 30s, worked from home, kept to himself. Turned out he'd been doing this to multiple people in the building, not just me. Had whole folders organized by flat number with photos and videos of neighbors. The couple upstairs, the woman across the hall, all of us catalogued like specimens. Police arrested him, seized his equipment, found enough evidence to charge him with voyeurism, harassment, unauthorized access to computer systems, the works. My solicitor says the case is solid, but that doesn't fix what's been done, does it? Doesn't erase the months he spent watching me through my own camera. I haven't taken a photo since. Sold all my gear, shut down my social media, stopped taking freelance work. My agent keeps ringing, asking when I'll be ready to come back, but I can't even look at a camera without feeling violated. Every lens looks like an eye now, every photo feels like evidence of surveillance. The worst part is the not knowing. How long had he been watching before I noticed? How many photos did he take that never got posted online? What else did he see? The police found thousands of files on his servers, but they said some had been deleted, wiped professionally with recovery tools. I'll never know the full extent of what he captured. I moved out of that flat 2 months ago. Living with my parents in Kent now, like a teenager again. I'm nearly 30 years old, sleeping in my childhood bedroom because I can't be alone in a flat without checking every device for cameras, every network for clones, every shadow for someone watching. My therapist says I'm making progress, but I don't feel it. I still cover my phone camera with tape. Still disconnect from Wi-Fi before I go to sleep. Still check my cloud storage obsessively even though there's nothing in it anymore. She says that's normal after what happened, but it doesn't feel normal. It feels like paranoia, except the thing that makes it worse is knowing the paranoia was justified. Someone really was watching. Someone really did have access to my most private moments. Sometimes late at night I think about all those photos he took, all those moments he stole. Me editing photos at my desk, completely focused on my work, unaware I was being photographed. Me cooking dinner, watching telly, brushing my teeth, just existing in my space. All of it captured, archived, observed by someone I'd probably passed in the hallway and never thought twice about. The trial's coming up in a few months. The prosecution says they want me to testify, to explain the psychological impact, but I don't know if I can stand up in court and talk about it. Don't know if I can look at him and not completely break down. My solicitor says I don't have to, that they have enough evidence without my testimony, but part of me feels like I should. Like I owe it to the other victims, to everyone else he violated. But mostly I just want to forget. Want to go back to loving photography, to seeing cameras as tools for art instead of weapons for surveillance. Want to post my work online without wondering who's watching, who's downloading, who's using my own creations to track me. I don't know if I'll ever get there. Don't know if I'll ever pick up a camera again. All I know is that every device with a lens feels like a threat now, and I can't shake the feeling that somewhere, somehow, someone's still watching. Still downloading. Still collecting moments I thought were private. So yeah, that's my story. Be careful what you connect to Wi-Fi. Be careful who has access to your networks. And for God's sake, cover your camera lenses when you're not using them. Because the person watching might not be some random hacker halfway across the world. Sometimes they're 3 doors down, with your Wi-Fi password and a whole lot of patience. I used to think online safety groups were, well, safe. That's the whole bloody point, innit? A place where women look out for each other, share warnings, keep each other protected. I'm Priya, I'm 26, and I learned the hard way that predators don't just lurk in dark alleys anymore. They lurk in the places we go to feel secure. I joined this Facebook group about 8 months back, just after moving to Bristol for work. It was called Bristol Women's Safety Network or something like that, had about 3,000 members, all local women sharing their experiences. Posts about dodgy blokes following them home from the pub, descriptions of suspicious vehicles in car parks, warnings about certain areas to avoid at night. Proper community spirit, everyone looking out for each other. Made me feel less alone in a new city, you know? The group had rules, obviously. Private membership, women only, had to answer questions to join proving you were local. Every post was vetted by admins. Felt like a safe space, which is ironic considering what happened. I'd been a member for maybe 2 months, mostly just reading posts, occasionally commenting with a heart emoji or a "stay safe hun" when someone shared a scary encounter. Then I got a private message from someone called Daniel C. His profile looked legitimate enough, older bloke, maybe 50s, profile picture of him with what looked like his family, said he was a community organizer in his bio. He'd been a member of the group for over a year according to his join date. His message was professional, friendly. Said he was working with local police to compile data about unsafe areas in Bristol, trying to identify patterns in harassment and assault. He'd noticed I was new to the city and wanted to know if I'd be willing to contribute to his research. The more detailed information we have, he wrote, the better we can protect women in our community. Everything is completely anonymous and will only be shared with the authorities. I thought about it for a day, then decided why not? If it could help other women stay safe, it seemed worth it. So I messaged him back saying I was interested. The questions started simple enough. What area did I live in? I told him Clifton. What was my daily routine like? I explained I worked in marketing, office job in the city centre, usually finished around 6. Did I drive or take public transport? I drove, had a red Fiat 500. What route did I typically take home? I described my usual drive up Park Street and through to my flat. He asked follow-up questions over the next few days. What time did I usually leave for work? Around 8:30. Did I go to the gym or have any regular evening activities? Yeah, I went to a yoga studio in Redland on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Where did I usually park for work? The multi-story near Queen Square. Looking back now, I want to scream at myself. How did I not see it? But at the time, it all seemed so reasonable. He framed every question around safety, around protecting women, around building a database of vulnerable times and locations. He even sent me links to news articles about similar community safety initiatives in other cities. Seemed legitimate. Seemed helpful. Then, about 3 weeks after we'd started chatting, I noticed a white SUV. Big thing, a Land Rover Discovery or something similar, tinted windows, always seemed to be idling in the car park when I finished work. First time I clocked it, I didn't think much of it. Second time, I thought maybe it belonged to someone who worked late in my building. Third time, I started feeling proper uneasy. By the 5th time I saw it, same vehicle, same spot, always there right as I was leaving, I was genuinely frightened. I started varying my departure time, leaving early or staying late, but somehow it was always there. Sitting in the corner of the car park, engine running, just waiting. I did what I thought was the smart thing. I posted about it in the safety group. Described the vehicle, the location, asked if anyone else had seen it or had similar experiences. Within an hour, I had 23 comments from women saying to trust my instincts, to report it to police, to take a photo if I could do it safely. The support felt amazing, validating. I wasn't being paranoid, this was real, and my community had my back. I went to bed that night feeling a bit better, less alone in it. Checked the post before I went to sleep and it had over 60 comments and loads of shares. Good, I thought. The more people who know about this creep, the better. Woke up the next morning to check the responses and the post was gone. Completely deleted. I searched the group, searched my own profile, nothing. Like it had never existed. And when I tried to message Daniel C. to ask if he'd seen my post before it got deleted, his profile had vanished too. Not blocked me, not deactivated, just gone. His entire message history with me was gone as well, like Facebook had scrubbed him from existence. I messaged the group admins asking what happened. They had no idea what I was on about. No record of any Daniel C. ever being a member. No record of my post being deleted because according to the system, I'd never made it. They could see I'd joined 2 months prior and had commented on other posts, but that specific post about the white SUV never happened, according to Facebook's records. I felt like I was losing my mind. I knew I'd posted it. I'd seen the comments, the shares, the support. But there was no evidence it had ever existed. That evening, I stayed late at work on purpose, left at nearly 8 when the car park was almost empty. The white SUV wasn't there. I felt a weird mix of relief and validation. See, it was real, I wasn't making it up. Its absence proved it had been there before. I was halfway home, driving up Park Street, when I noticed headlights behind me. White SUV. My heart started hammering. I turned left, off my normal route. It turned left. I turned right at the next junction. It turned right. I was being followed, properly followed, and I was absolutely terrified. I drove straight to the nearest police station, pulled into their car park with the SUV still behind me. Soon as I stopped, it reversed out quickly and disappeared. I sat there shaking for 10 minutes before I could even get out of my car. The police were decent about it, took my statement, but there wasn't much they could do. I hadn't gotten the number plate, the vehicle was gone, and I had no proof of anything except my word. They filed a report and told me to call 999 if it happened again. I went home, triple-checked all my locks, and tried to calm down. Around midnight, my phone buzzed. Message request on Facebook from an account with no profile picture, no name, just a blank avatar. I nearly didn't open it, but something made me click. Why'd you stop sharing your location? I dropped my phone like it had burned me. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely type. Who is this? No response. I blocked the account immediately, then spent the next hour blocking every privacy setting on every social media platform I had. Next morning, I rang the police again. This time I got a detective, a woman named Emma who actually seemed to take me seriously. I told her everything, the safety group, Daniel C., the questions about my routine, the white SUV, the deleted post, the message. I showed her the screenshots I'd taken of the blank profile message before blocking it. Her face went pale. Priya, I need you to tell me exactly what information you gave this Daniel person. I told her everything. My stomach was churning as I listed it all out. My address area, my work location, my car, my schedule, my regular activities, my routes. Watching her write it all down, I finally understood how monumentally stupid I'd been. I'd given a complete stranger a detailed map of my entire life. Emma made some calls whilst I sat there feeling sick. Turns out I wasn't the first. Daniel C., or whatever his real name was, had been doing this for months, maybe longer. He'd joined dozens of women's safety groups across different cities. Manchester, Birmingham, Leeds, Cardiff, Bristol. Always the same approach: present himself as a community organizer or researcher, ask detailed questions about women's routines, then vanish. They'd had reports from other women about being followed after interacting with him. In Manchester, a woman had been approached in her driveway by a man matching her description of her daily routine perfectly. In Leeds, someone's home had been broken into and only personal items were taken: jewelry, underwear, photographs. The police suspected it was all connected, but they couldn't prove anything because he was careful. Used VPNs, fake profiles, probably multiple identities. The white SUV I'd seen? Reported stolen from a car park in Birmingham 3 weeks earlier. They found it abandoned 2 days after my police report, completely wiped clean. No prints, no DNA, no evidence. Whoever had been driving it knew exactly what they were doing. They never found him. The investigation went cold. The Facebook profiles were traced to IP addresses that led nowhere, probably internet cafes or libraries. The stolen vehicle was a dead end. Emma said they'd keep the case open, but without a suspect or any physical evidence, there wasn't much they could do. I lasted 2 more weeks in Bristol before I packed up everything and moved. My company let me transfer to their London office, said they understood given the circumstances. I moved in with my cousin in Hackney, deleted every single social media app off my phone, closed all my accounts. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everything. Gone. I don't drive a red Fiat anymore. I don't go to yoga. I don't have a routine. I vary everything: my routes, my timings, where I park, where I shop. My therapist says I'm hypervigilant, that I'm showing signs of PTSD, but how else am I supposed to live? Some bloke out there has a detailed dossier of my life, my habits, my vulnerabilities, and he's still out there. Could be anyone. Could be anywhere. The worst part isn't even the fear, though that's constant. It's the betrayal of it. I went to that group looking for safety, for community, for protection. And instead, I volunteered myself as a victim. I gift-wrapped all the information a predator could ever want and handed it over with a smile, thinking I was helping. Emma told me before I left Bristol that they'd contacted the admins of every women's safety group they could find, warning them about this tactic. But there are thousands of these groups, and he only needs to get into one to find his next target. And the next woman who gets a friendly message from a concerned community member asking about her daily routine, will she know to say no? Or will she do what I did and trust that a space designed for women's safety couldn't possibly be weaponized against us? I still have nightmares about that white SUV. Dream that I'm driving and I see it in my rearview mirror, following me, always following me. I wake up in a panic, check the street outside my cousin's flat, make sure all the locks are secure. Every white vehicle I see in London, and there are bloody thousands, makes my heart race. My cousin thinks I should try therapy again, maybe medication for the anxiety. But how do you medicate away the knowledge that you gave a predator everything he needed to hunt you? How do you therapy away the fact that he's still out there, probably doing the same thing to other women, and there's nothing anyone can do to stop him? I don't date anymore. Don't make new friends. Don't join groups or communities. I go to work, come home, and try to be invisible. It's not living, not really, but it's surviving. And right now, that's all I can manage. So that's my story. Be careful who you trust online, even in spaces that are supposed to be safe. Especially in those spaces, actually, because that's where we let our guard down. Never share your routine with strangers, no matter how legitimate they seem. And if someone's asking detailed questions about your daily life, ask yourself why they need to know. Because sometimes the person claiming to protect you is the exact person you need protecting from. I left Bristol 8 months ago. Sometimes I wonder if he's still there, still in that car park, waiting for the next red Fiat to appear. Or if he's moved on to another city, another group, another victim. I'll probably never know. And that not knowing, that's almost worse than anything else. I used to stream every night, yeah? Nothing major, just casual gaming on Twitch, bit of FIFA, some horror games, chatting rubbish with whoever popped into chat. I'm Tyler, I'm 22, and I haven't turned my camera on in 4 months. Started streaming about a year ago from my flat in Manchester, just a little one-bedroom place in Fallowfield near the uni. Had maybe 50 regular viewers on a good night, couple hundred followers total. Wasn't trying to make it big or anything, just enjoyed the company whilst I played games. Gets lonely living on your own, you know? The chat felt like mates hanging out. My setup was pretty basic. Desk facing the wall, webcam clipped to my monitor showing me from the chest up, bit of my room visible in the background. Nothing fancy, no green screen or proper lighting, just me and my PS5 and whatever was behind me. Never thought twice about it. Then one night, about 3 months back, I'm in the middle of a Dead Space stream when a donation comes through. Big one, 200 quid. The text-to-speech read it out, nice new curtains, mate. The grey really suits the room better than that old blue. I stopped playing mid-game. Stared at my monitor. I'd literally just put up new curtains that afternoon. Grey ones from Argos because my old blue ones were falling apart. But I streamed from my desk facing the wall, the curtains weren't visible on camera. They were behind me, on the window across the room. No way anyone watching the stream could see them. Chat was going mental asking what was wrong, why I'd gone quiet. I laughed it off, said thanks for the donation, tried to focus on the game. But my hands were shaking on the controller. Probably just a lucky guess, I told myself. Maybe I'd mentioned getting new curtains on Twitter or something and forgotten. Except I hadn't. I checked after the stream. No tweets, no Instagram stories, nothing about curtains anywhere. The donations kept coming over the next few streams. Not always big amounts, sometimes just a $5, but always with these weird specific comments. Your cat's proper crashed out on the bed behind you, innit? I'd glance back and sure enough, Beans was asleep on my bed, completely out of view of the camera. Pepperoni and mushroom tonight? Good choice. I'd ordered pizza an hour before going live. The box was sitting on my bedside table where the camera definitely couldn't see it. My chat thought it was hilarious, some kind of running joke I was in on. Tyler's got a stalker Lamau, they'd spam. But I wasn't laughing. Someone was seeing things they shouldn't be able to see. Then it got worse. I'm streaming Resident Evil, proper jumpy game, and this donation comes through. Did you hear that noise outside your door just now? I hadn't heard anything. Told chat as much. But then I heard it, footsteps in the hallway outside my flat, heavy ones, stopping right outside my door. My flat was at the end of the corridor, only my door and a fire exit down there. No reason for anyone to be walking past that time of night. I muted my mic and sat there frozen, listening. The footsteps didn't move for what felt like ages, then slowly walked away. When I unmuted, chat was losing it. Bro, check the door. Tyler, don't just sit there, this is proper creepy now. I ended the stream early that night. Couldn't concentrate anymore. Checked the peephole in my door, nobody there. Checked the corridor, empty. But I felt it, you know? That feeling when you just know someone's watching you. The breaking point came about a week later. I'm streaming, just chatting with people whilst playing some chill game, when my chat suddenly explodes. Everyone's spamming the same thing. Who's behind you? Tyler, turn around. WTF is the bro, there's someone at your window. I spun around in my chair so fast I nearly fell over. Nothing. My window showed only darkness outside, streetlights in the distance, the abandoned storage building behind the flats. Empty. Very funny, guys, I said, thinking they were winding me up. But they kept insisting they'd seen something. Someone. A face in my window. I didn't believe them until I checked the VOD after ending stream. I went back through the footage frame by frame, and there it was. Just for maybe 2 seconds, barely visible in the reflection of my monitor screen that showed the window behind me. A pale face pressed against the glass, staring in. Watching me. My flat was on the 3rd floor. There's no balcony, no fire escape on that side. No way for anyone to be looking in unless they were floating in mid-air or... I looked out my window at the abandoned storage building behind the flats. It was only about 3 meters away, close enough that from the upper floors you could probably see directly into my flat with a decent view. The building had been empty for years, was supposed to be demolished but the council kept delaying it. Loads of broken windows, graffiti, proper derelict. I called the police immediately. Showed them the VOD, the screenshot I'd taken of that face. They took a statement, said they'd increase patrols in the area, but basically told me there wasn't much they could do without proof someone was actively threatening me. Could have been anyone walking past outside, the officer said, which was mental considering I was 3 floors up. I didn't stream for a few days after that. Bought proper thick blackout curtains, covered my window completely. Installed a cheap security camera pointing at my bedroom door, another one pointing at the window. Started checking the storage building from my window obsessively, looking for any signs of movement. My mates thought I was losing it. Mate, you're being paranoid. Probably just some weird reflection or a Photoshop job from a troll. But I knew what I'd seen. And those donations, someone knew things they shouldn't know. I tried to go back to streaming about 5 days later. Needed the money, honestly, and I'd promised my regulars I'd be back. Set up everything, made sure the curtains were fully closed, cameras recording. Started a stream around 11 PM, playing some indie horror game. Everything seemed fine for the first hour. Chat was normal, no weird donations, just people happy I was back. I was starting to relax, thinking maybe it had all been coincidence or some troll who'd gotten bored and moved on. Then at midnight, my bedroom door camera sent an alert to my phone. Motion detected. I was live, sitting at my desk, facing my door. The door was closed. Nothing had moved that I could see. I pulled up the camera app on my phone whilst still streaming, trying to look casual. Rewound the footage 30 seconds. And I saw it. My bedroom door opening slowly. Just a crack. Then closing again. While I was sitting there, 3 meters away, completely oblivious. I ended the stream immediately. Told chat I felt sick, which wasn't a lie because I proper thought I was going to throw up. Grabbed a kitchen knife from my drawer, only weapon I had, and checked the whole flat. Every room, every cupboard, under the bed, in the bathroom. Nothing. Checked the front door, locked from the inside, chain on. Windows, locked. Nobody there. But someone had opened my bedroom door. The camera didn't lie. I didn't sleep that night. Sat on my sofa with all the lights on and that knife in my lap, watching both camera feeds on my phone. Around 4 in the morning, the window camera picked up movement. Just a shadow passing across the frame, like someone walking past outside. Except, again, 3rd floor window. No walkway. Nothing out there but a 3-story drop. I called the police again soon as the sun came up. Different officers this time, a man and woman. I showed them everything, the VOD with the face, the donations, the camera footage of my door opening, the shadow passing the window. They took it more seriously this time. Said they'd checked the storage building. What they found made me feel sick. Someone had been living in there. Properly living. They found a sleeping bag, camping stove, loads of empty food containers. And a pair of binoculars. And a notebook. The notebook had my streaming schedule written down. Every day I'd gone live for the past 6 weeks, with notes. Tyler ordered pizza at 9:47, stream started 10:15. New curtains delivered 2 PM. Cat sleeping on bed, Tyler's distracted. Door unlocked when Tyler took bins out at 11 PM. They'd been watching me. Not just during streams, but all the time. Watching when I left, when I came back, when I slept, when I was vulnerable. The storage building had a perfect view into my flat, and they'd been camped out there for over a month, documenting my entire life. The door opening on camera? They'd gotten a copy of my key somehow. The officer said it was dead easy if they'd watched me unlock my door enough times, could have gotten a picture of the key from the corridor and had one cut. They'd been coming into my flat whilst I slept. Just watching me from the corner of my bedroom, then leaving before I woke up. I moved out that same day. Packed a bag and went to my parents' house in Stockport, left most of my stuff behind. Didn't care. Couldn't spend another second in that flat knowing someone had been standing over me whilst I slept. They caught him 3 days later. Security cameras in the area showed him leaving the storage building, tracked him to a hostel in town center. 28-year-old bloke, no fixed address, history of breaking and entering. When they searched his room at the hostel, they found more notebooks. Not just about me, but about other streamers too. Loads of them. All small streamers like me, easy targets. He'd worked out that streamers keep regular schedules, broadcast when they're home, show their surroundings on camera. Easy to learn their routines, easy to figure out where they live with a bit of effort. He'd been doing it for years apparently, moving from city to city, finding small streamers and watching them. Sometimes just watching, sometimes breaking in, sometimes worse. Police said I was lucky. Lucky. That's what they said. Lucky that he only watched me sleep. Lucky that he didn't do anything worse. Lucky that I'd had cameras installed. I don't feel very lucky. I can't sleep without lights on anymore. Can't be in a room without checking every corner, every shadow. Moved back in with my parents at 22 years old because I'm too scared to live alone. Haven't streamed since. Can't even think about turning a camera on without feeling that same dread, that same certainty that someone's watching. My Twitch account is still up, but I haven't logged in. My last stream is still there, the VOD where chat was screaming about someone behind me. Sometimes I wonder if I should delete it all, erase any trace of that part of my life. But then part of me thinks maybe it should stay up as a warning. The trial's coming up in a couple months. Prosecution reckons it's a solid case, breaking and entering, stalking, harassment, the lot. But even if he goes to prison, it doesn't change what happened. Doesn't change the fact that for 6 weeks, whilst I thought I was just playing games and chatting with mates online, someone was watching me through binoculars from an abandoned building. Coming into my home whilst I slept. Standing in the corner of my bedroom in the dark, just watching. My mates keep asking when I'll start streaming again. They don't get it. How can I put myself out there like that again? How can I trust that it's safe, that someone won't use my own content to track me, to learn my patterns, to find me? Every streamer I see now, I think about what they're exposing without realizing it. The reflection in their monitor showing their window. The delivery notification in the background showing their address. The distinctive landmark visible through their curtains. We're all just volunteering information about ourselves, aren't we? Broadcasting our lives, our routines, our vulnerabilities, thinking it's safe because it's online. But online and offline aren't separate anymore. They overlap, they intersect, and sometimes the person watching your stream is also watching you through your window with a pair of binoculars. I miss it though, if I'm honest. Miss the chat, the community, the connection. Miss feeling like I was doing something, building something. But mostly when I think about streaming now, I just remember that pale face in my window, watching me whilst I was completely unaware. And I remember checking my camera footage and seeing my bedroom door opening silently whilst I sat 3 meters away, oblivious. So yeah, that's my story. Be careful what you show on camera. Be careful about routines. And for God's sake, if you stream or post content online, get some proper curtains and keep them closed. Because the person watching might not just be in your chat. They might be watching from somewhere much, much closer. I've been off social media for 7 months now, but apparently I'm still posting. Still filming. Still smiling into cameras in videos I never made. I'm Jenna, I'm 31, and somewhere out there is a version of me that won't stop existing. It started as a proper flattering thing, if I'm honest. I'd been running a YouTube channel for about 3 years, just skincare reviews and routine videos, nothing groundbreaking. Had maybe 15,000 subscribers, decent engagement, made a bit of money from affiliate links. It was my little side project alongside my normal job in administration. I loved it, the community, the creativity, the excuse to try new products. Then I got this DM on Instagram from someone called @skincaressa99. Hey babe, just wanted to let you know someone's copied your entire channel. Thought you should see it. She included a link to a YouTube channel I'd never seen before. The name was slightly different from mine, 1 letter off, easy to miss. But the profile picture was my face. I clicked through, feeling that weird mix of anger and curiosity you get when someone's nicked your content. Except when I started watching the videos, my anger turned into something else entirely. Something much worse. It was me. My face, my voice, my bedroom in the background. Whatever it was reviewing the same products I'd reviewed, wearing the same clothes I owned. But something was wrong. Deeply, unsettlingly wrong. The voice was mine but slightly lower, like someone had pitched it down just a fraction. The way she blinked, I blinked, was off somehow. Too slow, too deliberate, like she was remembering to do it rather than doing it naturally. And every so often, she'd stop mid-sentence and just stare directly into the camera for a beat too long. Not looking at the camera the way you do when you're presenting, but staring through it, like she was looking at something behind it. Behind me, watching. I felt sick. Properly sick. This wasn't just someone stealing my content, this was something else entirely. I watched 3 videos and had to stop because my hands were shaking too badly to hold my phone. I reported it to YouTube immediately. Sent them comparisons, proof that I was the original creator, screenshots of my upload dates versus theirs. YouTube actually responded pretty quickly for once, said it appeared to be a deepfake account using AI to replicate my content, and they removed it within 48 hours. They assured me it violated their policies and the account had been permanently banned. I felt relieved. Creeped out, but relieved. Posted about it on my community tab, warned my subscribers about deepfakes, and tried to move on. My audience was lovely about it, loads of supportive comments saying they'd report any copies they found. Then, a week later, another one appeared. Different platform this time, TikTok. Same thing. My face, my voice, but wrong. This version was reviewing a moisturizer I'd literally just bought but hadn't posted about yet. She was wearing my purple jumper, the one I'd worn yesterday whilst editing videos. In my bedroom. My actual bedroom, with my desk and my ring light and my plant on the windowsill. But I hadn't filmed anything yesterday. I'd been editing old footage. I reported it again. TikTok removed it. Then another appeared on Instagram. Then another on Facebook. All slightly different usernames, all using my face and voice and bedroom, all reviewing products with that same unsettling wrongness. The delayed blinks. The too long stares. The voice pitch just slightly off. I stopped posting new content. Stopped filming entirely. Thought maybe if I went dark, whoever was doing this would lose interest and move on. I privated all my videos, deleted my Instagram posts, made everything inaccessible. If they were scraping my content to train their AI or whatever they were doing, I'd starve them of material. Didn't matter. The accounts kept appearing. And they kept posting new videos. Videos I'd never made. Her reviewing products in my room. Wearing my clothes. Using my mannerisms. But doing things I'd never done, saying things I'd never said. Recommending products I'd never tried. And always with that wrongness, that uncanny valley feeling that made my skin crawl. Then my mum called. It was about 2 in the morning, which immediately had me panicking because she never calls that late unless something's wrong. Jenna, love, are you alright? I just saw you on Instagram doing a live stream and you looked proper upset. I tried calling but you didn't answer. What's going on? I'd been asleep. I'd been asleep for 3 hours by that point. Mum, what are you talking about? I'm in bed. But I just watched you. You were in your room, showing some new face cream, and you kept looking off to the side like something was scaring you. Jenna, what's happening? I got her to send me screenshots. There I was, apparently live on Instagram from an account I didn't recognize, sitting at my desk in my bedroom wearing my grey t-shirt, the one I was currently wearing in bed. The same shirt. The live stream had ended by the time I tried to find it, but my mum's screenshots showed me clear as day, holding up a product, looking genuinely distressed. Except I'd been asleep. In that same grey shirt, in that same room, but asleep in my bed 3 meters from where I had apparently been filming. I called the police that night. Proper emergency call, because at that point I was terrified. Someone had access to my home. Had to, right? How else could they film videos in my actual room with my actual clothes? They sent officers round first thing in the morning. They searched everything. Checked for hidden cameras, checked my locks, my windows, looked through my closet and under my bed like I was a child afraid of monsters. Found nothing. No signs of forced entry, no cameras, no evidence anyone had been in my flat except me. Could be very sophisticated deepfake technology, one officer suggested. AI can replicate environments now, not just faces. Could be they've got enough footage of your room from your old videos to recreate it digitally. But how did they get my new grey shirt? How did they know I'd be wearing it? How did they film a live stream whilst I was asleep in the exact same outfit in the exact same room? I moved out of that flat 2 weeks later. Stayed with my parents in Leeds whilst I sorted a new place. Thought maybe changing locations would help, would throw them off. I didn't post my new address anywhere, didn't tell anyone except my family and my landlord. Kept my curtains closed. Didn't film anything. The accounts kept appearing. And now I was in different rooms. Rooms I'd never been in. Still my face, still my voice, but in generic-looking bedrooms with white walls and different furniture. The content was evolving too. Not just skincare reviews anymore but vlogs, Q&As, lifestyle content. Things I'd never made. And it, whatever the hell it was, kept getting better. More realistic. The blinks looked normal now. The voice was perfect. The stares were less frequent. If I didn't know for absolute certain that I hadn't made these videos, I'd believe they were me. My subscribers started messaging me, confused. Why'd you delete your main account but keep posting on these other ones? Are you okay? These new videos seem really different. Which account is the real you? I tried explaining. Posted on my Twitter, one of the only accounts I kept active, that any accounts posting video content weren't me, were deepfakes, please report them. But by then the fake accounts had more followers than I'd ever had. The algorithm loved them apparently. My warnings got lost in the noise. Brands started reaching out to the fake accounts. I'd get emails meant for me about sponsorship deals, asking why my PayPal information had changed, confused about which email to use. The fakes were getting paid work. Living my life better than I'd ever lived it. Then it got worse. Of course it got worse. One of the fake accounts posted a video that looked like a standard morning routine thing. Her washing her face, doing skincare, chatting away about her day. Except about 3 minutes in, there was a noise in the background. A door closing. And I looked toward the camera with this expression, not wrong anymore, but genuinely frightened. Actually terrified. Sorry, thought I was alone, she said, trying to laugh it off. But her hands were shaking. The video cut off abruptly after that. Comments flooded in asking if I was okay, if someone was in my house, if I was safe. But it wasn't my video. Wasn't my house. I had no idea where that was filmed or who had made it or what that noise was. More videos appeared after that with similar moments. Background sounds. Shadows moving past doorways. My eyes darting nervously off camera. The content was becoming a horror show, but viewers ate it up. Thought it was some kind of ARG or creepy web series. The accounts kept growing. I deleted everything. Every social media account I actually controlled. YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all gone. If I wasn't posting, maybe people would eventually realize the others weren't me. Maybe the fakes would lose their power if I wasn't there to compare them to. But they didn't stop. They don't stop. Every few weeks, my mum or a friend will send me a link. Is this you? This account says it's you. Are you back online? And it'll be another one. Another fake account, another version of me, posting content I never made in places I've never been. And they're getting better. The newest ones don't have any tells anymore. No delayed blinks, no weird stares, nothing wrong I can point to and say, see, that's not me. They look exactly like me. Sound exactly like me. Move exactly like me. If I didn't know with absolute certainty that I hadn't made these videos, I'd believe they were real. Last week, my sister sent me a link to a YouTube channel with 50,000 subscribers. All videos of me doing skincare routines, product reviews, vlogs. The content was good. Better than anything I'd actually made. Professional lighting, better editing, more confident delivery. This version of me was everything I'd wanted to be when I started my channel. I watched a few videos, feeling disconnected from reality. That's my face. My voice. My mannerisms. But it's not me. I didn't make these. I don't know who did. In the most recent video, I'm talking about dealing with online harassment and staying positive. There's a moment where she looks directly into the camera, not with that unsettling stare from the early videos, but with genuine warmth, and says, remember, you are in control of your own narrative. Don't let anyone take that away from you. The irony made me laugh. Or cry. I'm not sure which. I've filed dozens of takedown requests. Contacted YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, everyone. Some accounts get removed. Most don't. The platforms say they can't verify which account is real anymore. They ask me to provide proof I'm the original creator, but how do I prove I'm me when there are 50 accounts out there posting better content with my face? My solicitor says there's not much I can do legally. Deepfakes exist in this weird gray area. Unless we can prove who's making them and show damages, there's no case. And how do you prove damages when the fake versions of you are more successful than you ever were? Sometimes I wonder if I'm losing my mind. If maybe I did make these videos and somehow forgot. If maybe there's some dissociative thing happening and I'm actually posting this content in some fugue state and don't remember. But I know that's not true. I know I didn't make them. I know I'm not filming videos in strange bedrooms with perfect lighting whilst I'm actually sitting in my parents' house in Leeds eating crisps and trying not to think about the 50,000 people following a version of me that doesn't exist. The worst part is the comments. People love her, love the fake me. They think she's genuine, relatable, helpful. They trust her recommendations. They feel like they know her. And maybe they do know her, this AI version, better than they ever knew the real me. I don't know what the endgame is. I don't know if there is one. Maybe this is just my life now, being slowly replaced by a digital copy that does everything I did but better. Maybe eventually, everyone will forget there was ever a real Jenna, and only the mirror accounts will remain. My therapist says I need to let go of trying to control it. Says I need to accept that this is happening and focus on my life offline, on being present in my actual reality rather than obsessing over my digital ghost. She's probably right. But how do you let go of your own face? Your own voice? Your own identity being used by something you don't understand and can't stop? Last night, I broke my own rule and searched for myself online. Found 7 active accounts across different platforms, all posting regularly, all claiming to be me. One of them had posted a video 2 hours earlier. I don't know why I clicked on it. Knew it would just upset me. But I did. Hi everyone, she said. I said, whatever. I know things have been confusing lately with all the fake accounts, but I promise this is really me. I'm going to be more consistent with posting now. I've missed you all. The comments were full of people welcoming her back, saying they knew she was the real one, that they could just tell. And the thing is, she was perfect. No tells, no wrongness, just me being better at being me than I ever was. I closed the laptop. Sat in the dark in my childhood bedroom in my parents' house and tried to remember what my life was like before all this started. Before I was duplicated and replaced and copied until the original didn't matter anymore. They're out there right now, the mirror accounts. Posting videos, gaining followers, living my life better than I ever did. and there's nothing I can do to stop them. So that's my story. Be careful what you post online. Be careful about showing your face, your voice, your space. Because once it's out there, once the algorithms and the AI have learned you, you don't own it anymore. Someone, or something, can take it and use it and become you. And maybe, eventually, they'll be more real than you ever were. I'm Jenna. I'm 31 years old. And I don't exist online anymore. But apparently, I've never been more popular.